so let's get into our big two videos for today. We're going to start off with the top 5 candidates for Offensive Rookie of the Year. Both lists usually come out every year. Either one of us makes it, but we're going to do both of our lists. And since it's both of us, we'll go 5, 5, 4, 4, 3, 3, 2, 2, 1, 1. I think this is a pretty loaded class, more on the defensive side than the offensive side this year. But I think there are plenty of guys that could have great seasons, especially in the offensive side. So we're going to start here with the Offensive Rookie of the Year list first, and let's go ahead and get into it. So I'll go first, and then Mitch. So at number 5, I have T.J. Hawkinson, the new tight end for the Detroit Lions. Now, tight ends don't typically win this award, like ever. The only person to ever win this award was Mike Ditka in his rookie year, and that means you got to produce a lot to get here. But when I was looking at the offensive side, especially in the first round, typically when you win this award as a first-round guy, I'm looking at guys that can be used in the offense in a way that's going to help them or help their numbers to get this Rookie of the Year. And I think with a guy like T.J. Hawkinson, he has a quarterback with Matthew Stafford that is going to be looking at all the ways down the field. He's going to look at every single receiver. He has certain targets he's going to like. And when you draft a tight end with the number 8 pick, you have a high level of confidence in this guy. And I think he's going to be a big target for Stafford. I think, honestly, he could lead the team in targets this year. So if it's that case, he's going to be, down the field, getting those red zone catches. I could see something good in T.J. Hawkinson this year. I don't know if he's going to win this award because tight ends are very rare to win it, but I think the offensive production could be there, and having a QB like Matthew Stafford, I think can go hand in hand with each other. So at number 5, I have T.J. Hawkinson, the tight end of the Detroit Lions. Mitch, who do you have here at your number 5 spot?
At number 5, so with my list, I'm thinking about the potential to break out and have a huge season. So the first guy that really came to my mind was actually a player that could be completely eliminated if Todd Gurley stays healthy. But if Todd Gurley doesn't play, Darrell Henderson is going to be the starting running back of the LA Rams. So if you're the starting running back for Sean McVay's offense and the LA Rams offense, you have a good chance of winning Rookie of the Year. I don't care who you are, whether you're a guy off the street or a guy that just got drafted. So if Henderson does end up playing a lot in place of Todd Gurley, then I think he has a really good outside chance of winning this award. That's why I have him here at number 5.
Interesting. I did not have a thought for that. So, okay. All right. Interesting. Number 4 is going to be very positive to Mitch's team. N'Keal Harry here, the wide receiver for the New England Patriots, I have here at number 4. He's going into this Patriots offense that still has a lot of life in it, is one of the better offenses in the game. And with Tom Brady there, he's going to be looking for new weapons. He's going to be looking for ways to implement him in the offense. And I think with a guy like N'Keal Harry, the last pick in the draft, or the last pick in the first round of the draft, I think was a big steal. And I think a lot of other teams could have benefited from having him as well. So I think the combination of Brady having him in this Patriots offense with Bill Belichick, he wants to focus on getting a bunch of different guys this opportunity. And I think N'Keal Harry has a great opportunity in New England here. So I could see him winning it here. Receivers have a decent chance of winning this award. Not the best chance. Running backs usually have the best chance. But I think N'Keal Harry has a decent one here with this system in the Patriots. So I have him here at number 4.
I do not have N'Keal Harry on my list because he's a wide receiver. That's really the only reason. I think if a wide receiver was to win the award, it would be N'Keal Harry, though. So I don't disagree with the pick. He's in my honorable mentions. At number 4, I have the Chicago Bears rookie running back, David Montgomery. Montgomery, he has a good chance of replacing Jordan Howard in the role as their lead running back. So on a really good team with the Bears, a team that likes to run the football, a pretty dynamic offense under Matt Nagy, if Montgomery is given that role to be the new Jordan Howard, I don't see Tariq Cohen being that guy because he's just too small. He can't really take the impact of all those carries. It could potentially be Davis, but I think Montgomery has the highest ceiling out of all these running backs to replace Jordan Howard in that role. And if he has like 1,000 yards or something like that on a really good team that's expected to go to the playoffs, he has a good chance of making and winning this award. Plus, the fantasy community does love him. He's getting a lot of hype there. So I see it with Montgomery at number 4.
Nice. Very nice. I again, not a guy that I have on my list. I feel like we're going to differ a little bit here, but I like that pick. By the way, the producer, Jake Barton, is in the chat. I can't believe it. It's been a long time. He said, "What's up, Dilly?" And he says, "Like the shirt, Mitch. You're looking like a scout or something." He's ready for the Patriots.
They call me Nick Casario, bro.
Jeez.
The new Texans GM that we're getting a draft pick off of because the Texans are idiots.
You can go rant on that. Number 3 for my list here. I like this guy, even though he is for a rival team. I think he is the second best quarterback in this draft, Dewayne Haskins. I think what the Redskins are doing is interesting. I don't know if they're really hyped up at all. I think they're a little bit underrated. I know a lot of people in our underrated list were like, put those Redskins in there. Like, why didn't you have them? And I can see it to an extent. I feel like, there is a little bit of QB situation with Case Keenum. I feel obviously he's better, but they signed him to a 2-year contract, so they might start Case. So I have him here at 3. But I really like what Dewayne Haskins has provided in Ohio State, especially the second half of his year. I think he got better. And as more experience comes down the line, he's going to learn very valuable lessons. And I think with this rookie campaign, if he's able to start week 1 and is given the keys, I think he can lead this team to a pretty decent season. So I think with his production and getting better as the season goes on, I think he has a good chance of winning this award. So at number 3 is Dewayne Haskins.
At number 3, I have running back of the Oakland Raiders, Josh Jacobs. I have Jacobs at 3 because I think the Raiders are going to be a pass-first team, and I don't know how good the Raiders are going to be. Like, they could be a team that make a run for the wild card spot, or they could be a team that's picking in the top 5 in the draft. We really don't know with the Raiders, but Jacobs, he was the number 1 running back taken in the draft. He's going to get those carries. He's going to get those touches. He really doesn't have a great backup behind him, so he's going to have all the opportunity in the world. He's definitely, outside of the quarterback position, the top rookie of the year candidate. And I don't think he's like as great as some of these other top running backs that have come out in the draft in recent seasons, but he's still the one this year that has the best chance. So I have him here for an offense that's going to be pretty good at the very least in the Oakland Raiders, Josh Jacobs.
Sorry if you can hear this. The dog's drinking water and it's very loud. But yeah,
I can't hear it.
I have. You can hear it? Okay.
No, I can't.
Oh, okay, good. It's just really loud for me. I don't know. I do like that pick because at number 2, I have Josh Jacobs, the running back from Alabama, to the Oakland Raiders here. I was looking at the Raiders draft picks, and I'm like, I feel like if there's going to be one offensive player they're going to get, it's Josh Jacobs, and they did so. They filled that need at running back, not getting the biggest star, but they drafted a guy that I think has a lot of potential. And running backs are the most likely to win Offensive Rookie of the Year. That also helped his stock a little bit. Like you said, he's not like the last couple of drafts have had a lot of running backs, a lot of quality running backs that are leading the group. Saquon Barkley, Ezekiel Elliott, Christian McCaffrey, etc. Those guys are really early in the draft, and this guy was taken towards the end of the first round. But he is the most hyped up running back in this class, and I think he is going to get the most touches considering where he's at in Oakland. He's going to get the most opportunities to prove that he is a good running back and worth that pick for the Raiders. When some of us might have said, let's go get 3 defensive players, considering how not great that defense was last year. So I think he has a lot to prove, but I think he's going to get the biggest opportunity out of anybody here in terms of running back production. And that's why I have him here at number 2. And I think he can do well here. So Josh Jacobs, number 2 spot.
At number 2, predictably, I have Dewayne Haskins of the Washington Redskins because, look, he may even start this season. And if he does, he goes on to start, or even if he plays like, let's say, 12 games, I think he has a good chance of winning this award. First and foremost, the NFL wants to give this award to a quarterback. Yep. It's just the way it is. And if Haskins can come in and prove that he has a decent season, I think he's the best physically out of all the quarterbacks the Redskins have. He just needs to produce a little bit, get some wins under his belt for the Redskins, a team that can be sneaky. They should at the very least finish 3rd in their division and maybe compete down the line. I mean, they've been a very injured team, so it's kind of hard to predict what we're going to get out of the Redskins this season. But if Haskins can come in there and be a player that shows promise and make some plays and maybe he's completing some deep passes. I don't think he's going to have to do a ton if he does become the Redskins' kind of starting quarterback, because they are going to be a run-first offense, and he's going to have those opportunities to take his shots down the field and hopefully connect with them. But Dewayne Haskins, I think it's a quarterback award first and foremost. He's the second best quarterback coming out of the draft. I believe he has a chance at this award. Simple as that.
Makes a lot of sense to me. That's why he was here at number 3 for me. I don't think I'm going to see any big curveball here with our number 1 selection. I think we both have Kyler Murray as our number 1 selection. I'll just go ahead and
Can you tell us why, Dilly Vanilli? Why do we have Kyler Murray first?
Kyler Murray, thank you for asking that question, Mitch. Kyler Murray is a very athletic quarterback, a very versatile quarterback, somebody that we saw in Oklahoma absolutely light it up, and obviously he won the Heisman for a reason. He did so much for his team there, and with Arizona, with Cliff Kingsbury being like, let's get rid of Josh Rosen, we're going to get Kyler Murray. You have to have a lot of trust in this guy. He's given him the full reins to whatever this team is, a very young team with new receivers like Andy Isabella. I'm trying to think of that other receiver off the top of my head. I'm kind of blanking at the moment.
Hakeem Butler.
Hakeem Butler, thank you.
He still has Larry Fitzgerald.
Also has Larry Fitzgerald.
He still has David friggin' Johnson.
Wait, that's more of an offensive line situation, because I feel like he obviously is a top 5 running back. Just that offensive line is terrible.
Well, the thing I am confident in is that their offensive scheme should at least be better. I mean, you brought this guy in to run your offense and to specifically run it with Kyler Murray. So, I mean, come on. It should be there.
You gotta have some kind of like hope that this guy is gonna do well. And Cliff Kingsbury said this in October of last year, where he's like, if I was an NFL coach, I'd be picking him number 1 overall. So he knew the confidence back then. He got his quarterback, he got his wishes, he got his team. So I think this is a very young offensive mind and a very young offensive team, minus Larry Fitzgerald, but you're getting one more year out of a great veteran there. And I think with what Kyler Murray has brought to the table in his college years, I think it's going to be a great year. I feel like he's going to have a really, really good season. Certainly much better than Josh Rosen's rookie year in Arizona. So
I'm extremely excited to see how they utilize Kyler Murray's legs along with David Johnson, because I think you can do a lot of creative things with those 2 players in the backfield that are going to be tough to stop, and defensive coordinators are going to have to scheme against, and then that's going to open the passing game up. That's what I think is going to happen, but we'll have to see.
Yeah. Well, we will definitely get our opportunities to see that this year. So, all right, that is our list for the top 5 offensive rookies of the year.